I feel like when I look at myself, my main focus is just embodying me with no labels, like, and unapologetically. Yeah.
So what is your favorite quote?
My favorite quote is like the definition of faith. Because I feel like faith is like, it's mystery, but like it's with it requires hope. Like you can want something, but you have to want it in that hopeful way. So like that's what makes faith so strong. It's like faith doesn't make things easy, it makes things possible.
I like that.
And like ever since I got that in my head, because people be like, how do you? No. It's not even all of that. It's not even all of that. I just want to do it. I want to do it. And so, yeah, a lot of my favorite quotes, a lot of my favorite principles is like faith, but like what faith requires, yeah, like that's it. Yeah, that's my favorite quote. Mm-hmm. I feel like I would want it to be like something real profound from like a book or something, but when I heard that, I'm like, oh yeah, that stuck with me.
That in and of itself, the definition of faith, that's something that you live by, something that you have to embody faith, you have to be faithful. And having that hope piece, I was listening to something where she was talking about you can't say you don't want to have hope or you don't get hopeful for stuff, but say that you're a faithful person because hope is the basis of faith.
Yeah. Like with no evidence. Like you have to have it. You have to be able to have it with no evidence in front of you. Like I have no way of seeing it happen right now, but I still trust it's going to happen. Like that's what it is.
That takes a lot. No, and you gotta lose a lot too. That's why I'm reading that Letting Go, The Pathway to Surrender book. Because
I mean, but that's what it comes down to. It comes down to the art of surrender. Like, and that's what my life is. Like I know that my life screams that, like nothing but surrender. Like my life has been nothing but I wanted a plan and God said, how you thought. Like that's been my life. I was like, oh, I'm gonna be a doctor. Oh, here's COVID. And you know, you just got back from Ecuador studying holistic medicine, and now you want to look into everything you put in your body, and you are hesitant about a vaccine because I am aware of my perspective on healthcare and how I manage my health. Mm-hmm. So no, that's cool. And then I was like, okay, well, I still want to do that. And then I started doing lashes, even though I'm the only girl. I said, I don't like being around girls like that. Never want to go into the beauty industry. Love women now. Like being in the beauty industry, somehow I started doing lashes, got into the beauty industry, and love being a woman. I want to be a tomboy no more. But that's surrender.
You did have your
like you had
days.
Wait, no, like I just wasn't like a girly girl like how I am now. Like now with my hair done and all the time, like I love being a woman now. You get what I'm saying? Like that had to grow onto me from the art of surrender, even being graceful. Like that's a feminine aspect. Like, but to carry things with grace requires the practice and the skill of surrendering. And again, all of that comes from faith. So it's all these aspects, right? And that's what you need to be a successful business owner. And people don't realize that. They think being a business owner is just owning a business. No. Psych. That's why I was telling y'all that stuff earlier. Like, I was literally just like, yeah, I'm going to get this, get that. Like, no, intention. Like, all of those principles is like what it requires. It is. And that's where the success comes from. Like, people want me on their podcast because they see success, but like, do you know what it came from?
Do you know what I had to lose? Do you know what I had to learn?
Like, I had to unlearn? It's so much more than what it seems. But even in the aspect of money, like money comes after success. And it's like, to get away from success, you have to run from things like conformity. Yeah. So like, it's all of these things that are like not normal in like the world that we live in. Like getting comfortable being alone, learning to surrender. I cannot. It's been days I was at work and I was like, I've had like 2 seasons of my life where I was going through it. I would be at work crying had I gone to work them days. And what do I look like? Leaning over my client crying. Like, no, I cannot do that. I need to take care of myself. It's even when I was like that as an athlete. And that was why I appreciated having academic scholarships. If I know my body ain't here to perform, I ain't performing.
So how do you think being an athlete plays into that business mindset? Because a lot of those qualities or aspects that you were just talking about, you need that to play sports. You need that to be on a team.
Yeah, and that's how we know each other too. AAU. Y'all know AAU is the web.
I don't play with you though. Did you play with me?
But that's why. No, but we were just all in and out of like the same, like, you know, between playing AAU and the different private schools we went to. Like we were always in and out of the same organizations. Right. That is right.
I've always wondered because what.
Right. But that's what it is about being an athlete is every level teaches you something different. So like when I was a kid, I learned discipline and to fall in love and like to be consistent. When I was in high school, it was like I learned to have fun. But then when I got to college, I learned how to look at somebody that was over me and still say, you're not treating me right. You get what I'm saying? And then it's like you start to see the professional version and I'm like, oh, get money. Like, so it's like you learn the different levels of being an athlete, but like again, like adversity. Like even when you look at those complexities of being an athlete and what you learn about an athlete, it requires adversity. Like, and then even the mental toughness and awareness and the mindfulness for that. Yo, I was really outside running in the freezing cold. Like, what the fuck?
Winter and
I'm glad you enjoyed
freezing
that.
outside. Yes, like I'm telling you, like you run and you train, like you're really like pushing your body through uncomfortable circumstances.
Yep.
Yes. And so that's why it's like,
on track.
I can't believe I was doing that. Like,
I'm having fun doing it. Well, at times.
I was barely like, this time I'm like, now, like, it's so cool that, right, like, now they do have practices in place where they're aware of that. Like, now college players can get paid. You get what I'm saying? Like, now they're receiving the compensation for
that
it.
We all were like, this is...
And I can't even be mad because, like, the NIL was the best thing they could have done for those students if they're going to be treating college basketball or even just college sports, period, as a business. Because, like, these kids, first of all, just got out of high school. Now they got to wake up at 6 a.m. every morning, go to practice, make sure they're getting good grades in school, make sure they're doing everything they need to do as a regular student. And then because now you got Billy and Bob's money invested in it.
It's a lot.
They don't want that money.
There's so many layers to it. There's so many layers to it, and you can only control you. Like that's literally what it gets to. Yeah. And I even remember that, like going from high school. Like I'm telling you, like my high school experience being an athlete, it brought in everything that being an athlete didn't. Like what it was to be a black girl, what it was to be a black girl in private school, and my parents were in a millionaire family. Like the shit that had nothing to do with me being an athlete, like it showed because what being an athlete is into. It is. It's a business. And so like in high school, I'm like, I don't know. Like, and I think I was telling you that story before, like how I was at a private school. They got me on a scholarship. It was the first year that you could do 2 sports. So I was running track. Cross country, and I was hooping. And you know, basketball and indoor tracks in the same season. I literally looked at them folks one day and was like, I cannot do this.
You did both at the same time?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the IAAM and the MIAA. Remember? Yeah. Like they have made it. Yeah. Yeah, y'all remember that?
Y'all were in that?
Yes. You know, it was A, B, and C conference.
You were in B conference, right?
No, Oakville was always in B or C. Okay. But like McDonough and them, they were always in A.
Yeah.
But yeah, they had made it like that year where you could do 2 sports in the season because like you do have, it's not like jail where it's like legalized slavery. Being an athlete is damn near in that same shit though. It really is.
It is.
Like the fact that they were like, this girl is in high school and she can do indoor track and crazy. 2 practices in a day. I would have a meet one day, a track meet like the next day. That it was crazy, but seeing that, like I would literally be like, y'all, I'm tired. Like I have this going on. I didn't have a scholarship. Like I couldn't afford not to.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So it made me realize that. Like when I was seeing girls get to captain's positions that they didn't even work for because their parents were on the endowment board.
It was like that?
Oh yeah, girl. That school had money. Like one of the girls in my class, like her dad created the smart board. Like remember how the smart board was the big thing in middle school when you could like take a pen, like the Apple Pencil.
I had fun.
Y'all remember that time
you had to like recalibrate it?
Yes, no, it was like the girl's grandfather, and she was so cute. Oh my gosh, the sweetest girl. But I don't come from that.
Yeah.
But like Lord knows I was still blessed, right? That's how I was going to but that's I'm black.
I kind of want to hear you go more into that experience though, as just a black girl at a white school like that at such a young age, and then learning about yourself, and then learning about the differences in financial and even just
class and color,
economic
class and color.
Yeah.
But that's what it came down to. Like again, like the money, like, and I realized how scholarships work. Like they talk about getting one to go to school to be an athlete in college. But like having those scholarships in high school and what they required, I was like, damn, like Like, this is about so much more than a scholarship. Like, and again, me like losing, like having to figure out that duality of taking care of myself through that. You know, I have a family at home. Like, I'm human. I don't know. I'm not a machine.
Yeah.
But that is why, like, overall, back to like what I like, my long-term version, like, I love looking into and studying like neuroscience, psychology, like how the brain works. Because at the end of the day, we're in control of our bodies. But that's why I'm like, when I really be sitting back and looking at my life, like I said, I really be like, yo, I always had plans and it never went that way. And then it's like, when I don't be focused on that, I step back and be like, damn, this shit's working out.
But it always went the way you needed it to go.
Right. And then again, that's honestly how life works. Like, you have to surrender. You have to have faith. You have to. That's why I'm like, I never went into my life, as we constantly are, thinking like, oh, I was going to be a business owner and do lashes and go get my master's after undergrad and pay for it. Like, if you ask me in undergrad, when I got that full academic scholarship, you know me. I'm not paying, never paying to go to school. I'm not paying to go to school, let alone when I started realizing how much tuition costs. But all in all, I'm appreciative of it. Like, everything that didn't work the way I wanted it to. I'm very thankful for that. Yeah.
That's great that you can look at it in that way too.
That's kind of like what I take away from it. But yeah.
Grateful for what you have and what is coming your way. Because obviously things could be better. Obviously you could have.
But they are better. But that's how you have to think about it. Like I'm always like, like it could be this, like, but it is that, like, and that's why it's like, you know, we'll have like the memes and the videos on Instagram, like that video on Instagram right now of the sister from Black Panther, T'Challa's sister, and she's like in an interview and she's like, I don't take it as a no, I take it as it just wasn't for me. But like people really don't understand, like, again, like the brain's mechanism to accept that, to process that. You get what I'm saying?
It takes time and practice, though.
Yes.
People forget also that the brain is a muscle. So
yes.
You have to keep
it's just like working out.
You have to keep using it. Yeah.
Yeah. And
I
so
be forgetting that myself sometimes.
That's really where everything came down to. That's why I was like, okay, like when I was born, I'm an only girl at home. I have an older sister, she's much older. So like at home, I was the only girl. I had a stay-at-home mom. Like, my mom sacrificed and set up everything. It's not coincidental that I have a 21-year-old brother that's a pilot, like a cadet pilot, and he's a flight instructor. Like, do you want to get your pilot's license? He can teach you. Like, he's like, what my older brother does.
He's really tough.
Like, none of that is like one accident. So I grew up that way. Again, I was just ahead, having a stay-at-home mom who sacrificed and set up. Yeah. So I went in like 2 grades ahead. And so even then, like, it's always been clear in my life, like, my plans weren't. And I don't even look at it as to be alone, but just like getting comfortable accepting that you're not like the rest. And that's something that like I had to learn to own with grace. And I can even like being more mature now look back, like times I was like getting into it with girls, or like just understanding that like I was like you have to get comfortable accepting that you're not like everybody else. Like things that were just going down, you know, just owning who you are. And honestly, even now, I can admit that I'm like just starting to figure that out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And again, we see it in a certain manner on like social media, like, oh, they knew me then, they don't know me now. Like, no, but I'm saying,
I'm crying.
No, but isn't that really like, no, but it's like, you don't even know who you are now. Like, that part, I don't know. Ask me some questions. I like me asking questions.
Okay.
I'll be the first person, like, I ain't the same person I was 2 seconds ago. Like,
I know, and at the same time, it could be in that way too. Like,
well, speaking on influence, who inspires you?
Damn, this is bad, but
I mean, okay.
No, you want to know what's crazy though? The quick diversion, real quick. Yeah. Don't forget you asked me that. I really just realized recently, like, the power of having role models in your life.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they're necessary.
Like me around my like coming out my teens, like I feel like I didn't have for the parts of me that I needed to work on. I didn't have somebody to look up to for that embodiment, like that inspiration. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? So I would say like it's different when it comes to who I look up to as a person. I look up to myself and I look up to God. Mm-hmm. But like when it comes to like business, like, oh my gosh, there's this one girl from Baltimore. Like I her hustle, but she's had it structured. Like, her name is Daycare. I've never been to her for her services, but I love when I hear about people. Like, even not following her on Instagram, I hear about her. I like that. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, like, I mean, I have, like, influences like that. I have influences like, I like Kanye. That sounds natural flowing out my mouth. I like Kanye. Like,
you said Kanye?
Yes.
I mean,
like, his influence, like, his attire, like, his influences. The influence he has on me. I like Kanye. Fuck it. Like,
I'm not going to hold you. I like him, too.
Like,
he speaks his mind, first of all. He can dress. You can't, I mean, yeah.
No, but it's so much about him, like, his, like, that man really has no problem saying how he feels.
Oh, yeah.
At all.
Like, and I'm not gonna lie, I like that. Like, I'm not saying that I agree with everything he says or how he says it in delivery, but, like, the things that he gets and does, I fuck with Kanye. Real shit. Like, he gets that music shit, he gets that fashion shit, he gets that shoe shit. He gets that, even though he is crazy, he can be impulsive in the way that he can react. Mm-hmm. But, like, I fuck with him. You know what I'm saying? So, like, managing that duality. But what was we talking about?
Who inspires you?
Who inspires me?
I want to say Kanye. That's what it sounds like. But who inspires you?
It's like back to that point and, like, realizing the power of influences. I feel like a lot of my influence comes from, like, it came from what I didn't want for a while. Mm-hmm. Like,
but that's necessary, though, to experience things in your life that you don't want or that are contrast to what you believe you should have, because then you can really learn what you actually don't want.
Yeah, because the things that used to influence me, I'm not gonna lie, the things that used to influence me don't influence me no more. Like, if you asked me this like a year or two ago, I'd be like, oh, that girl, because, like, the stuff that used to influence me doesn't influence me anymore. I'm actually really glad you asked me that. Because
that is actually the second part of the question. Like, who do you believe your biggest influences? And I know we all go through different seasons in our lives. So in this season where you are now, and, you know, considering what you've been through, but Jaleah right here, right now, who inspires you? What is your biggest?
Who inspires me? I would definitely say my younger brother. Like, the fact that he is, like, I'm telling you, I'll be sitting back like I couldn't. And then again, just understanding everybody is different. Because again, me, I do lashes. Like, I'm in the beauty industry. Yeah. The turnaround and the way that I work is different from him because he has an athletic scholarship. Again, back to that.
He has one right now? Mm-hmm. Where's he going?
Wow. He's at Embry-Riddle. It's in it's an aeronautical school. It's the number one aeronautical school in the world. I had to put that on there.
Oh.
But
number one.
No, but just him being in school, and he's a triple jumper and a long jumper. He's a sprinter. He's like one of his school's top athletes. He works a job so he can pay rent.
I love that.
Because he's at a D2 school, so you know how that goes. Mm-hmm. But he really inspires me. Like, I told him, and I put out there because I believe in public acknowledgement. I sure do. Like, the way that he wears all his crowns. And it's like, again, I used to take that on as a burden. Like, all the crowns that I wear. Like, everybody be like, you go to school and you do this and you do that. Like, I watch my little brother do it. And he does it all well. Even though it's like some stuff I'm like he really gets under my skin. But
he's like, when
I look at him, like, and that's why I really be looking at him like he's not even my little brother, because I've met tons of men that don't even touch him.
Yeah.
And, like, he really inspires me. Like, even when I'm, like, thinking of times that I feel like I'm letting down, like I'm always thinking of my little brother, like I can't let him down. Like, the fact that he's my inspiration, I know I inspire him, like, damn, like, I can't let him down.
Yeah.
So definitely, like, he inspires me, but, like, even on the different levels of that, like, just my village as a whole. Mm-hmm. Like, a lot of people see me, but I'm a representation of what's been put into me. So, like, my family, like, people like Justin, like, I only surround myself with people that inspire me.
Yeah.
And I think that that's something that I learned back to, again, like, me falling out with people before. Like, I was allowing myself to put myself in environments and rooms I didn't belong in. Like, I put myself there, though.
You feel it.
Right. So when I learned to own that and be like, okay, I want to be around people like that. Like, oh, okay. Like, okay. Mm-hmm. And I felt how it was doing more for me. But I would say my village as a whole is inspirational. Like, and everybody got their own thing. Like, it's not even about millionaire versus 9 to 5. It's like, they're amazing at that. They're amazing at that. Right. They inspire me in that. You get what I'm saying? So, yeah, my village as a whole is, like, pretty dope. I got one of them. You need somebody for anything, and they the best, and they know it. Yeah, like, my village is really that. Mm-hmm.
I say that, too. It's important to surround yourself around good people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because bad company definitely corrupts, baby. Like, it's not gonna work.
And then it's like, once you go through it once, like, why would you want to keep putting
it's not gonna work
through it? Yeah,
it's not gonna work.
I can ask myself that.
Yeah, I'm saying, ooh, that was not a good move. Like,
why would you do that?
What was I doing? It's just funny how I tell everybody go like, yeah, that was a bad move. Like, yeah,
did that happen? No, it didn't.
But you can't deny it though. You have to be able to look at it and be honest with yourself and say,
that's true.
You choose your inspiration.
Yeah.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Because you can have bad you can have bad influences. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like you got to choose what's healthy for you, and that's why like I feel like as I figured myself, I got that. Like when I realized I wanted to tap more into myself, like it started so cliche. Like I was doing yoga and I was drinking water, but genuinely tapping into myself. Like I had an influence for that. You know what I'm saying? Like I have a homegirl who like she does that, like the working out and the eating healthy and the staying on top of school. She's very structured. Like when I realized I needed to like tap into that of myself, I had an influence for that. Like you get what I'm saying? So it's important to even like realize and understand and adjust to your own evolution so you can maintain the influences that you need. You get what I'm saying? Because I'm like, damn, when I was in running track, my influence was like Alice and Felix. Now I'm like, I don't think I need that. We're not working on that right now. But yeah, my influences have definitely changed over time. Like growing up, I had people I was like obsessed with. Because you know how like growing up, we only had TV. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was looking at Keke Palmer pregnant, y'all. I used to see Keke Palmer on TV and be like, oh my God, I love her so bad.
From my head.
I know it's everybody was like, yo, you know Keke Palmer? I was like, that is True Jackson, BC. That is True Jackson. Don't do that. Oh, not Keke.
How about that's a key little beamer?
Yeah. Like we didn't have like it's not like my influences definitely changed over time. Like even when I was in school, like having that phase where it was like doctors and you get what I'm saying? Like I was surrounded by some amazing doctors.
You really were.
And I was just like, wow. Like
you got into Johns Hopkins early.
Mm-hmm. Right? Like it was great. It was dope. Like the way it was laid out. And it was crazy because I was one of those workers. That's why I love being a business owner. Because I'm not gonna lie, like I have to work in an environment where they allow me to be myself. Where they allow me to flow with myself. Like on some real shit, if I tell you I'm going through something, I need a couple of days off and I have a structure to bring somebody in and I'm not leaving you hanging, respect it. Don't be that manager that's like, oh, she calling like, yeah, nah. And like a lot of corporate places don't let you be you and flow you, take care of you. They don't even take care of you. Like, so that's why I was like, yeah, like that's not gonna work. And again, I just had gone into like knowing that I was meant to be an entrepreneur, but I was about to tell you a story off of that. I forgot.
It's a tough road, but it's always worth it.
Mm-hmm.
You learn so much about yourself, about people, about business, about life.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just crazy how it always is unplanned. Like you really can't plan it. Like you can have a strategy. Like again, in scaling my business, I have a strategy. So I went from doing lashes in my mom's basement. I'm just getting money. So okay, God doesn't want like the hustling mindset is survival mindset. Yeah. Like hustling is not a good thing. Let me tell you, I know how to hustle.
It's ghetto.
It's very ghetto. Like yeah, let me just like wake up and get my God wants you to have structure. Like you deserve a business, like something that flows, that runs. Like you have a plan that can get to the extent of you removing yourself. Like you are it with yourself removed. Yeah. You know how powerful that is?
Yeah.
Like, but it's like people think that just hustling is going to get you there. Like, no, you need a plan.
Sure, it'll get you a whole lot of money. What are you doing with it? Where's it going?
What's the plan?
Where is it? Where do you keep it?
No matter how much money you get, you're still in the same place.
Exactly.
Yeah. And so, like, I think that, like, when I realized that, I was like, okay, I need to start scaling my business. Like, so, okay, instead of just going from just doing lashes, let me add, like, when people come get their lashes done, one thing I noticed in healthcare is we kept having patients that kept coming back to the emergency department. That don't even sound right. It's an emergency. How you have it in an emergency, like, all the time? Like, all the time. Like, we're seeing the same people, but with me and my experience, I'm like, damn, like, they're not even giving these people the right discharge.
No,
because you saw it. Yes.
The things you see, and you just kind of, like, got to stand there and just watch type. And that's just so many things about this in general.
These are good.
It started with an intention. It started with a purpose. The purpose was to inspire people. And how better to inspire people than to just be who you are and let the people who are paying attention and who actually want to help themselves look at it and be like, Like just how you went out and you saw the mentor, you saw the role model, You realize what I see around me now isn't it. You went out to look for what was it. You didn't judge somebody because they were doing it.
Right.
And then it's like you took that information and you did what you needed to do with it. This information, take it and do what you need to do with it. Do what you need to do.
It's gonna resonate with somebody.
That's why, like, even I feel like even when I was put in situations, like, again, back to taking on things with like grace, just accepting that I was here for a purpose. Like, it's not even about it being good or bad, and that's like what I feel like school put me in that structure. Everything in life is this or this. Like, I'm going through this because of this or this, and then I got to the point just like I'm going through it. Period.
Yeah.
Like, period.
There was a point in school where I did not want to do anything anymore, and it kind of
related. School sounds so depressing. No, it'd be like that. It'd be like
there was just so much other life stuff going on. I'm like, look, bro, you gonna get this paper when it's done.
Especially at the school we went to, like, that was not like work. Like, when I tell people you get 3 C's and they put you out of the school within a university, they're like, what? Like, yes, this is not a joke. This is not a drill. It wasn't a drill.
Granted, not thankfully.
But that's why I think being an athlete helps with school. Like, even though it was so much, like, me being an athlete while I was in school, it kept me disciplined. Again, being an athlete, it requires so much because of the structure.
And it gives you structure.
Yes.
And so, like, even when I stopped playing basketball, I had a gym routine for myself. Granted, it took some time to get into that.
And stick into
it. But having that, like, okay, as soon as I get out of this class, I'm going to go to the gym, and I'm going to go shower, finish up, do some work. Like, it gave me something to do. And you really need that, especially once you're finally learning to operate on time on your own. How are you managing your time? What are you really doing?
Yeah.
So, I'm still learning that low key, but in a different way.
But it's not even about time. Like, people think time is about time. It's about value. It's about, like, and that's like one thing that I really learned coming out of last year. Like, what I'm giving my time into, like, not just because of like the time, but like what it costs. You know what I'm saying? Like, in the time that's given. And so that's why I'm like, when it came down to my time management, it's not that I couldn't manage the time given.
Yeah.
I was given what it shouldn't have cost.
You get what I'm saying? Valuable.
Trust me, the time was there. Yeah. Like, the time was there. Like,
yes, it was.
The time was there. And I was having my times. Like, they say, boy, we had a time. Like,
we had a time.
I was having my time. But, like, the things that it had, like, cost me just, like, wasn't worth it. And it's, like, I think that was why, I finally got to a point where I accepted and I got comfortable being in places where I wasn't my best. You get what I'm saying? And it's like being a business owner, like, you gotta be okay with that. Like, you're not always gonna be on top. Like,
so what helped you get through that and be in those places in that state? Because I know for me personally, like, I don't get as anxious as I did, thankfully.
Yeah. And it takes training of your mind to get there. You get what I'm saying? That's why you have to honor yourself.
Exactly.
Like, once you honor that, you take the time to process and figure that out. I got to a point where I was like, okay, yes, I'm going through hell and I'm fucked, but I have a village. I'm not alone. Like, and that's one thing, like, it is set up and cut up where, like, you gonna feel like you got nobody. Like, you gonna have days where you feel like things are not gonna work out. You get what I'm saying? You're human. Like, and I got to a point of honoring that part of myself. I'm not perfect. I'm an Aquarius. I don't know if that's an Aquarius thing. I feel like people say that, but like, I am almost a perfectionist. Like,
people say a lot of things about Aquarius.
Yeah. But like, just get your point. I am not a perfectionist. Like, it is okay for me to make mistakes. And it is okay for me to learn. And it is okay that I wasn't perfect before. You get what I'm saying? Like, learning all of that. Like, I really do think, like, looking back at like what it took me to get my brand to what it was, like, the way that I can have a whole I took this entire December and January to plan out an entire Valentine's Day campaign. And again, it's just even what it gave me, like, realizing Valentine's Day is really about love. And I'm not going to lie, the way that people love on Valentine's Day, I love myself like that every day. Every time I go to a restaurant, I'm working on this. But I'm dropping a bag on myself and I'm going to act like it's my birthday.
It's so funny that you say that.
And let me tell you, it be looking like I'm dropping a bag on myself on Instagram. But best believe I know somebody, I got a connection, we bartering, we doing this. But that's what I'm setting myself up for.
To play it.
Right. But that's why I'm like, no, that's just what it comes down to, is honoring. Like, I had to get to the point that I honored myself because I'm my business. And it was crazy. I had this friend in Atlanta. I had gone to their house and like it was just, I had walked in and it was like, it was some weed, It was a gun. Yes, look, we're licensed healthcare medical. We're licensed to conceal and carry. I remember that. And there was a Bible and a Quran and a book. Mind you, I've never seen a layout like that in my life, so this is a lot to process already. But I looked at the book, and the book caught me, and it was like it was like a triangle, but a pyramid, right? So like, this was what was on the book. Okay. So it was like the key to success, and this was before Jeff Bezos was a thing. This was years ago. Okay. So like before Jeff Bezos and what's the other guy, Elon Musk. This was like before they were big. Wow. It was like the 3 things you need in a business to be successful is this is the business. You have the owner, you have the brand, and you have the service or the product. Mm-hmm. Like, why do we love Amazon? Because of Jeff Bezos. Everybody knows, you know. Why do we love Amazon? Because of the products. Why do we love Amazon? It's fucking Amazon. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So like for a business to be successful, you got to have all of those dimensions of your pyramid. You get what I'm saying? So that's what I had to eventually realize my business was. My business is not me just doing lashes and making money, even though it's a great income. Yeah. Like, mind you, I knew being a doctor would be great income. Like, and I love medicine. Like, I love the body. Like, it's unexplainable powers. Yeah. Like, in what is explained. Like, I love medicine. And it's like the mystery of it, right? Mm-hmm. So like all of that, and then it's just like, okay, so somewhere lashes came in.
But that's another part of yourself that you were able to give to yourself. Yes. Didn't you start just doing your own lashes?
Yeah, and I was doing my own lashes when I was running track. I was like, I gotta be cute. I didn't start wearing makeup, so I was like,
you taught yourself how to do your lashes?
I was like getting the clusters and popping them in. It was a girl on my team. She used to like buy them and like throw them on top. She did a good job. So one day I was like, I think I can do this. Yeah. So I was doing mine, and then like a year later, people asked me to do theirs. And then after that, it was like, let me look into the laws and legality, because if I do anything, you should do your research on it. You should have analyzed the art and the practice that you're getting into. Mm-hmm. Okay. So I realized in Maryland, like the way that it works, and I was like, okay, cool. Like I can do that. But again, I always had that scientific background of honoring the body.
And so that's the thing with science, they teach you to research.
Like, and again, so when I started getting my lashes done, I used to do pageants. I remember the first time I got my lashes done, I was laying down there. I was young. I was like 13. So this is like 10, 11, 12 years ago. Wow. She was like, I was laying down getting my lashes done. I was one of the youngest to ever compete in Miss Maryland Team USA. I wanted to get my lashes done. I was laying down for like 2.5 hours. That is long for a young teenager. Okay, this was before like we had MP3s maybe. Like I was sitting there like, what in the world? I got up, and this is when Hollister was hot. Like, and I remember it was this gray shirt I wanted. My eyes burned so bad I could not look at the shirt without squinching my eyes. Like my eyes burned.
Is it that good?
I don't know what it was. Like with what I know now, I don't remember what it was. I just remember my experience, and it was very traumatizing for the service that I loved.
At 13 years old too.
And so I was like, but they still keep them. So then I went to another. They still keep them. So then I went to another tech, and when I went to the other tech, it was a great experience, but like the quality of the artistry and what my lashes required wasn't being met. So I ended up having lash damage. Oh no. And I ain't have no lashes. So, because then I just like got into makeup, and I didn't have lashes to put the strips on. Like I had no lashes. So then this is when extensions started being heard about. Maybe like 5 years ago.
Or lash extensions.
Lash extensions. And so I started getting extensions, but I knew my precision is just, I knew what I wanted them to look like. At this point, I know how long I want them to take. At this point, I know that I don't want them to burn. So cool. I'm in Baltimore. Ghetto. Like I had found some great techs, and I even still know some amazing techs, and those are the ones that I still work with, and you know. Yeah. But my experiences were like for something that I wanted. So you know what I said? Like I was just telling somebody this other day, like people see me and they equate my success to money, but it's actually opposite. Like I didn't just make money by doing stuff. The things that I do solve problems, therefore I make money. You get what I'm saying? That's what I would do lashes. Cause I love it. And then even like when I was like starting to do other people's clusters and like the way it made them feel, like at first I wanted to go into emergency medicine because the impact I saw of being a lasting impression on somebody's last day. Yeah. Like, imagine talking to somebody on their last day of life and you were the best, like the most, like the highest vibration they experienced. I like that. And so I was like, okay, I like that. Like on somebody's worst day of their life, I want to be the doctor. I want to help them heal. And beauty services has that same exact touch. Like, that's how it is. I have women that come in there and they cry to me and they, you know, like you're.
It is a very welcoming space.
Yeah, thank you. But it's just like the comfort. And I love that. The comfort, the healing, right? It's not like medicine healing, but I love the energy of it. I love what it does. I love what I do. I love doing it. It's intricate.
Yeah.
And so that's why, again, I just think, like I said from the jump, I had this plan of and God was like, no. Like, that's really not how my life is going. And I love my life now. Ain't that crazy?
It is.
So that's just really how it's worked out. And I've always, like, God will give you talents to walk you to your gift. So, like, me doing lashes, my talent walks me to my gift of, like, serving.
And talking. You're very good. Well, speaking. You're a very good speaker, and you're good at articulating the things that you've been through in a way so other people can digest and really learn from what's going on.
Yeah. And so it's been able to walk me through that. And so I'm thankful for that. And again, all of that is back to the same principles of being able to surrender. Like, because I used to have a problem with that. Like, I want things to be right. I want them to be my way. I want them to be what is perfect to me.
Yeah.
And sometimes it was perfect to me wasn't even pleasing to God. So, like, it wasn't pleasing to the woman I was called to be.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So when I had this, like I was telling y'all earlier, like I really had to get to a point where I stepped back and I checked myself. And it's life. Like, it's fun here. Like, that is really life, and it's fun here. And it's just that's why I was telling you, I encourage and I tell everybody, your business is you. Like, people don't love my brand. I mean, I am great at lashes, and I have done the research, and I am working on my 2nd and 3rd degree, and I have been doing this for 7-8 years. I'm branding for about 14. But it's not about that. Yeah.
It's not. It's really not.
Like, when I really sit back and you really look at my business, and that's why I capturing these moments on camera, on the mic, it's a reflection of me and my growth and like what I'm called to be. I always tried to like chase my calling.
Yeah.
But when I allowed myself to fall into it, it's like, oh, okay, this is who I am.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
That actually brings me to my next question.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how do you want to be remembered? Because when it's all said and done, whether it's the business, whether it's the money, whether it's, even your family, which is sad to say, but when you die, you don't bring it with you. So how do you want to be remembered? This is the first thing that comes to my mind, so I'll just say it. Look, I know who I am and I know my heart. So as long as you remember me, that's it. Like, if you can remember me, like, that's it.
That's a word.
Because I don't want to be known as this or that. And I've never been a person to take on or want or carry labels. Yeah. I don't want to be known as this. I don't want to be known as that. I don't even want to be known as like rich or have money. Mm-hmm. Like, just my impact. Because I know like the impact that we're all called to serve and provide and be. That's why like people going to be like, oh girl, I see you. Oh yeah, let me tell you how I got my car. Let me tell you what to go in there, what to say. You want to do a business, you can link it to your business credit. People like, you got 50 points in a month of your credit. Yeah, because I can afford a nice truck. It gives me benefits. Like, you heard me tell you how much it costs. Imagine, like, that truck. Look, I mean, it do cost a lot. But this is my reasoning. Yeah. When I go somewhere and I want to be there, I'm there because they hear my truck when it pulls up. Yeah, my truck hums. Oh. So the $300 valet spot I get for free, like the convenience, right? It's like things like that. Like, whenever I go to the dealership, the people that I've met in the Audi like service center that I go to, and having that experience and knowing that I work for it, like,
experience is different though.
And now we've gotten to a point where like what it looks like is what sells, and not really embodying what it is. Yeah, not really embodying it, like, and that's like, I don't know. It's interesting, but. Me even knowing, and I feel like what matters beyond how people remember me is how I know myself while I'm here.
Yeah. So like, how do you know yourself? Who is Jaleah Sydnor?
I'm cool.
Sydnor.
She cool. Yeah, cool. But I feel like I'm just an intentional woman, and I love to serve. Like, and again, I'm a woman of faith. Like, that's really all I can say. It's because I'm not in control of myself. Yeah. I could say this, like, okay, I want to open a beauty lounge, and, you know, my business partner / best friend / life partner and I, we're coming together with, you know, another business partner of mine, and we're going to open this, and I'm going to go to PA school and dance and tango.
Yeah.
Like, that's not really, like, that's what I've done, but that's not who I am.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I don't know, who am I? It's just, I'm me. Like, that's it. Like, I just have faith in who I am and what that will produce and what it requires. Like, even when I go through things, like, you know, what I will learn. Like, that's all a part of me. So I feel like when I look at myself, my main focus is just embodying me with no labels, like, and unapologetically. And it's hard because nowadays, like, you know how, like, everybody sees somebody. So, of course, like, even with me having to, like, modeling before, like, I'm still small, you know, like, when modeling was first a thing, what did they want the models to look like 10 years ago, y'all?
Anorexic. Anorexic.
Now, look.
Now they want to.
Now they
right.
Like
Like,
a chromosome. Like, let me stop.
Crying out of chromosome.
But they are, like, the body changes. The body types do change. Like, they just prefer. Okay, so if I said
No, because
hourglass,
chromosomes be having their own DNAs. And then some of these bodies don't be, yeah. But it's crazy. It's crazy. Like, you know, when I first started modeling, like, I'll never forget being told when I was young that I wasn't small enough. And how
you? You were so
and you know how small, like, I was even then, but even, like, looking at when I was smaller, I'm sorry, looking at when
I'm sorry
I was
I said
smaller.
that like that, by the way.
No.
Like,
No. One day I came home from break, like, when I first went away for school, and I had put on, you know, freshman, you know, I had
We all did.
I had a
Pick up a
humble
little
freshman
something.
40.
pick up
Yes.
the phone.
So that first break home, even when I had put on 10 pounds, I remember I walked on the deck and my dad was smoking a cigar and he coughed on his cigar, like, seeing the weight I put on. I was like, oh, I was that small. But that's not like, no, I don't take that, no, offensively at all. But yeah, it's like,
And
Yeah,
the
no,
things that
that
does
shit
to a
hit
young
different.
girl's mind, though, like,
yeah, but still, like, always seeing somebody. And again, it's just even, like I was telling you earlier, like, there's nothing wrong with what everybody does or has. Like, I don't look at it in that aspect. I just be looking at stuff like, yeah, it's not for me. But it's funny at the same time, I can take it to a level of power that requires grace.
I was gonna say,
Like,
being
I'm
able
sorry,
to
but
say that is powerful.
Nowadays, everybody on Instagram, so being cute not enough.
Mm-hmm.
Like, being cute not enough. Like, when I sit down and I put out content, I'm really putting out who I am. Like, and that's what it is. Like, and who I am is gonna win every time.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just about tilting your butt out no more. Like, it's yes, that sells. Anything in vain is always going to sell. And that's why you get to the things like pride and greed. And that's another sermon in itself. But
We can say that for the
bonus
episode.
But it's like,
subscribe.
that's a whole nother, those is a whole nother demons in itself. But just certain stuff don't be for me. And that's why I was just like, one big thing I want people to take away is, like, success, you have to run from conformity. Like, you have to. Like, people think the opposite of success is failure. Like, no. Success, failure brings success.
Yeah.
Girl, I was on academic probation. Me and my family fell out. I moved out, was relying on myself at too young of an age when I needed guidance. And I put myself in that position because I was being prideful. Like, me learning to humble myself despite, because you can have money and it don't mean nothing. And you can have everything and it mean nothing. Like, all of that.
There's power in being able to say that to yourself at this point in your life, though.
Yeah, no, because
You're still young, you're still lit, period. And you got so much of your life left to live, and living your life with that understanding changes everything.
Yeah, and that's really what it comes down to, is like the understanding of everything. Like, even when you don't understand it. You get what I'm saying? Like,
That's faith.
and I feel like that was like one thing that's one thing that I knew drove my anxiety, and that's how I could face it. Because really, I was like going to doctors and they were just like, oh, you have anxiety. Like, it wasn't me mastering that. Like, it's okay to not understand it. Like, breathe. Like, not breathe, you'll figure it out. Breathe, you'll this. Breathe, you'll. No,
Breathe.
it's just, it's okay. No, it's okay to not understand it. Like,
Literally, no, that's the reason why I got this tattoo. Because sometimes when my mind starts going like this, and I know the way my mouth is, it's not about to, it's not gonna do that. So I'ma just take my deep breath, and we gonna just let that be that.
Mm-hmm.
However I feel after I take that deep breath, that's the state that I need to be moving in. That's the state that I need to be thinking.
And that's, again, even just what that comes down to, like being able to process. Like some people are so eager and so controlling. And that's what anxiety really is, even when it's at the back. You get what I'm saying? Like a lot of times it's like, and that's why like now that recently I've been learning more, just having a friend that's like studying like criminal justice. And I have a really close friend that wants to be a school psychiatrist, looking at kids who don't have guidance and familial love and parental love and things like that. Like, back to the influence talk. Like, back to the influence talk. Like, it really, really matters. It really, really matters. And so that's why it's like, I don't know. Sometimes, like, I sit back and I just started realizing this yesterday. Like, I'm baffled when I look at who I am. Because it's not about me. Like, I really sit back and be like, wow. I have a family that really loves me much. If people call us the Huxtables, I don't even watch TV.
I'm crying.
Like, or like, wow, like being like my content, like
Bill Cosby.
But everybody's like, oh my gosh, like your content, like yes, I have a best friend that is really like that. Like that's my family now. Like, oh my gosh, you've been doing this in the community. Like, yeah, I have a really, really good girlfriend that's passionate about assisting with like children. Like, and me, I needed that because I used to be very impatient. So like, you know what I'm saying? That's what life is all about. And that's what a lot of people try to manage their individual selves while surrendering their business, or they'll surrender themselves without managing their business.
Yeah.
And it's like, you gotta have both, because back to my point, like my business is really an embodiment of me and like where my life is coming. That's why now that I'm at a point in scaling my business where it's bigger than me. Like now I'm bringing in a team. Like we're going to open this luxury beauty lounge, and I'm going to have other like, you know, beauticians and business owners that are, you know,
use the space,
doing the same thing. Like it's just never about you. Like, and it doesn't stop there. And so that's even overall, like what I have coming up. I feel like I've gotten to a point where like, okay, I got this, and I got this, right? Before everybody's on the grab and put in their bucket. Now that I got this, and this, and this in my bucket, what can I do?
Yeah.
And so, I don't know, just overall, recently, I feel like I've just been having like a lot more gratitude for all of that, because I had to go through a lot for me to get there. Like, even back to the solution talk, like I'm so passionate about opening a luxury beauty lounge because I knew how bad before I wanted to support a Black-owned company or business to pay rent to, but they was scamming my pockets. Like, they was doing me dirty. Like, but it's like I like wanting to be in like a classy establishment that does have morals and class. Like, I like to give my clients and our customers like a luxury experience. Like,
because we deserve it.
Like, that's why I really tell people, like, I love my clients. Like, the fact that our like y'all be sleep, eyes shut, y'all trust me like that. I'm all in your eyes. Like, everything that's gone down in like the perspectives and experiences of receiving lashes. That's why even when I was like, I wanted to quit so many times.
Yeah.
I wanted to quit so many times. I was like, I hate doing lashes. Again, this when I was like insecure about myself. I was like, I hate women. Like, I'm a woman and I hate women. I was like, I hate women. Yeah. It was just so much. But then it's like, as I started to like sort that through, everything worked out. And again, now it is in the blessing of a space where even for me, it's about more than doing lashes. Like I told you guys, I'm partnering with a makeup artist and makeup who did my makeup. Yanni on the beat. Yanni beats Honey. She's like that.
Yeah.
But meeting as I began to align myself, other things aligned with me. And before I was trying to align myself with things before I was aligned with it.
Is this the one? Did you find it for me? Mm-hmm. That's crazy. I'm so sorry.
I thought it was just a small piece.
I'm like, did I? But no, just that's really what it ended up coming down to in the end. And that's like the flow of life. Yeah. But that's why I'm like, I'm excited to go back to school, but I'm excited for this to be my last semester because being in school keeps me in that. Life is like this because I'm in school. Yeah. Yes, no, pass, fail. Grade, markings. Like with life, you just gotta learn, you know.
By the way,
yeah, be like, have organization, but you don't have to be so structured so you can flow, you know.
That's the grace.
Yeah, that's the grace right there.
Being in a flow state, it's so cool when you're actually in it too because it feels different. Like, you feel so aligned with everything that you're doing, everything that's around you. And
it makes things easier.
Yeah.
Like I'm telling you, like I was just telling somebody this other day, like I think this was like a year ago. Like I was coming up like deep in the sky and I was like so in love and I was like, oh my God, I love it so much. And I was just looking now like Yeah, no, that wasn't happening. Like, and that's what I'm saying. Just it's not always gonna. I
saw that look on her face. She felt that.
But it's not gonna go like that.
Yeah.
Like, it's not gonna go like that. And it's like when you're trying to hold on to that, just let it go. Like, and I'm telling you, I even had to go through that with my own career. Even when you try to let it go, and it's like, no, like. I'm telling you, I really wanted to quit doing lashes tons of times because, like, I was even, like, you know, nervous at first. Is the way that I trusted myself. Like, again, I'm self-taught. Mm-hmm. I've just done so much analyzation and research and experience. I have worked with ENT doctors. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, I know the different parts of the eye. I know how the skin works. I know how the body reacts. Like, I have the knowledge to practice the skill. Yeah. But that's what keeps me in it. Like, everything has its intricacy. Like, I was telling my client the other day, y'all remember when, like, the only weave was a traditional weave? Now you got lace. And now you got, you know. So just, you know, being able to...
my go-to right now.
Being able to stay in your craft and innovate yourself with it.
Yeah.
Like, that's why I'm like, there's so... When people, like... That's why I really want to stop. I'm actually probably going to stop. But, like, teaching lash classes. Like, I'm more so about, like, I can't make somebody have a calling. Like, I can't. It's in you. I can't give it to you. Like, I can't make you be good at lashes so you can make money like me, because that's why people want to come. They want to make money doing it. No, like, do you want to? Is this what you need to know? Is this what you need to know?
People will sell that dream too. Like, yeah, take my class and
money. That's why I'm like, no. When I talk about my classes, I never like. Yeah. It's never like. Do you want to do lashes? When people first come to me, I'm like, we need to have a like. It's not even a consultation. Just let me work with you for a little bit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Let me help you figure out is this best for you, because I don't want to take your money like that. And that's why, like, starting further later in this year, going into 2024, I will be offering courses where it's based off of that, like, helping align yourself with your calling. That is my like gift.
So would that be part of the lounge or just something separate?
No,
so I feel like you would actually be really good at that because you're good at, you know, helping people look at themselves. Mm-hmm. And we're all mirrors for each other. So everything that you see in somebody else, you see in yourself. Mm-hmm. And so if you can help people look like, okay, so what is it about me and what you see in me that makes you want to come to me for advice like this? Yeah. And how can I help you see that in yourself so you can be a boss, so you can actually do what you're called to do?
Yeah, and I feel like the more that, like, what got me to that point was, like, the more that I figure myself out, the more I can help others. Like, because before, like, when I really wasn't where I even figured myself out, I would just teach a class and, like, make the money. It's not like they weren't learning and I wasn't giving them all my knowledge, which is rich. Like, my lash knowledge is rich because I'm so knowledgeable. Like, I've done the research. I have the experience. I have the time. But, like, that's not what I want to sell. You know?
Yeah.
Like, I want to sell people not my dream. Shit, this isn't even my dream. Like, and it brought me to the point of realizing my dream, and that's what the Lash Lounge more so is going to be. It's going to be a place where it's my place and my space, but it's your business, you know. And even in the power of those businesses coming together, because I've been in suites where it was like that business, that business, that business. No, you have your own business. You have your space within my place.
Yeah.
But there's been some places that I really wanted to go, but I would lose my brand.
What do you mean?
Like, there's been
you would have to operate under them?
Yes, and I don't want that because I've worked really hard
to get
and for my brand. Yeah, there's also been some other places where it's like my own suite and everything's different. It's me, and then it's Waukesha to the right, and then it's like really no uniformness, you know. And also all of that with luxury, with somebody, like, even when you walk in, like, it's greeted like it's one place. It's one band of different instruments, but it's still one sound.
That's why I like going to the bougie nail salon, because you get that luxury.
It brings you comfort. It brings you peace.
Yeah, it makes you feel good about what you're doing.
You here for who? What's going on? And let me say, no, just welcome.
That's too much.
So yeah, that's really like what we're going for. It'll be like a nail salon. And again, just a solution. What I've realized, like, there's a lot of nail techs that don't need a whole suite. They just need a place to do nails.
Right.
And then vice versa. There's some, because at first I was just going to have a lash bar, like a place with hella lash beds. Nah. Because when you come into the lash bar, you want to talk. Mm-hmm. So, like, I don't want to do that. But it's going to be like a nail salon. It's going to be really dope. We had the layout together. I'll send it to you guys. But it's going to end up being like a nail salon, like, that has that luxury lounge feel. And then there will be suites for everybody that's in there. They will have access to a classroom, like a mini room. Or like even let's say we have a makeup artist and she's doing like a group or like a wedding party. So like there will be one uniform classroom, not for like major conferences, but like a gathering area. If they need to teach a class, they have a like they want to have like a mini lit. Yeah. Just offering solution. Because again, I teach classes and it's like most places that I do lashes that I can't teach group classes there. Or like, again, like I said, I'm in places where I walk in and I just feel out of place. My clients feel out of place. Yeah. Like, and just, I love bougie shit. So yeah, we're good. Like, our pedicure chairs, when you look up, it looks like the inside of a Rolls Royce. Like everybody will have it. It's really nice. Yeah. But it's gonna give that, you know. Yeah. You know, we'll have a parking spot for my event. I already have that out. But you gonna have but just giving luxury, because that's what I said. Even walking in here, I feel relief. You know, like me taking care of myself should be an ease. It shouldn't be a burden. It shouldn't be a hassle. Like me getting my hair done, it's been a struggle. And why is it a struggle for me to feel good and look good? Yeah. So that's why, like, what we're really getting to is, like, not just living luxury, but feeling it and looking it. Mm-hmm. You know? And so that's what it is. It'll be a luxury beauty lounge, and it'll have multiple services by different businesses. But we'll all be in the same space. Like, it'll still be one band, one sound. And I want to get back to the art of offering that, of honoring pampering. Like what it should feel like to be pampered.
I'm excited for that. Because I've been looking for a space where I can just relax and feel good, just as a woman.
And that's just our starting phase. Like we'll end up like, adding stuff to it, but yeah, we're getting it together. And again, even what I'm working on this year is managing that with me in my last semester of school, with running the lash company. Because like, again, my lash company will be a business within my space. So I'm still doing lashes. I still have my company. Yeah. I'm managing that with other business opportunities, and then with me. And that's why, like, I had to take care of me, because like all of this is me. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. And so that's really what I have going on, And then I'm just at a point now, like with my birthday being next week, like, I'm just turning 25, but I'm 25.
25?
Like the time is now.
Quarter century.
Yeah. You're a year younger than me?
Yeah.
2 years. Dang, oh my God.
Yeah, like the time is now. Like people talk about the future, but they don't realize the future is now.
Yeah.
And so.
I'm not even going to get into that one. That was about to go a little deep.
Right? I'm going to save that one.
And I really love that we, brought you into this space and created this space as a whole, because this reminds me of my mom doing my hair, Brianna's hair, and I'm just sitting there watching, listening to what they're talking about, having a conversation with them, or even like watching something on TV. But
because this is definitely taking me back to little girl times. Like, you remember when you was little, your mother used to like clutch your hair and put the little volleys on there? Mm-hmm. Now when my neck get broke, it'd be in another way.
I'm crying.
I be understanding why we used to get hit with the brush.
Because like,
let me just say, you've been great today. But some people, when I do their hair, they be like, looking at the phone.
Or even like giving you the tension, like, no, you need to pull away so she can.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like, what you doing?
Like, what are
you doing? Yeah. So how did you guys fall in love with hair? Because I know as a lash tech, I realized, like, what made me great at lashes is that I love lashes. Like, my lashes always gonna be done. I love wearing lashes. I just love lashes, period. So, like, what brought you all to, like, the love of hair for you all to even do this?
So, for me, it actually started with Brianna, because growing up, we always had permed hair. Sitting down in the living room just like this, nonetheless. Don't get me wrong.
Scalp burning.
But burning with the scabs. And I'm just like, all this for some straight hair that's going to frizz up on the ends, right? But the roots is going to be silky. So once Brianna went natural, I kind of saw...
What a description of the perm.
I mean, that's what it's doing. You are burning.
Like, it's still not going to be silky straight all the way through. Just on the scalp.
Chemically burning.
Yeah, then don't let that new growth come in. Oh, no.
So now you got a puff on the end.
Damn, so you basically saw her and was like, oh, like, she's able to get, like, what about her and her natural hair? Because most women are scared of natural hair. They see natural hair and they're afraid of it because of the labor or, like, what it requires. Like, what about it did you enjoy? Or was it, like, you would just, that's what you love?
It was different, and then I saw how many different things you can do with it, and I love curls. Like, I really fell in love with curls. Any curl type, curl texture, even like the more coarser ones, if you really look at it, it's still beautiful, it's still pretty. And so I didn't even know what my real hair looked like.
Because we so permed out.
I did
you
not.
So permed out.
I didn't know what my real hair looked like, and I was tired of like the stringiness and, you know, always sweating it out. It was
child.
It was a mess.
And it is true with the perm. It's like you can do nothing but press it and wear it straight.
Exactly.
Like it really like kills your curl.
Yeah. There was a point though where I was about to go back, or at least like start to heat train my hair because it got to be a lot.
It'd be like heat train, slightly damaged.
But like our hair, it grows back so fast. I can cut it if I want to. I also do believe you should healthily cut your hair along the lines anyway, because hair holds on to a lot of things that you go through. So just let it.
But that's also the scary part. Like, and listen, you know what it makes me think of? That's a representation of a black woman. You can cut us, you can burn us, you can, like, nothing's gonna stop us from growing and growing back strong.
From the scalp.
And growing back thick.
From the scalp.
Yeah.
And luscious, yeah.
But no, that's why it was like, that's why I'm like sitting here talking to Brie. I was like, damn, you was braiding my mother hair. But even when you guys started the natural hair services years ago, like, I really was like excited for that. And I feel like with us living in a culture and a time where it is about this press, it's about the wig, it's about the covering that up. Like what we are to, like, I mean, not, you know, but like what I enjoy owning in myself, being a black woman, like, especially going to PWIs, like I want a straight hair like the rest of the girls. Again, back to the conformity talk. Like owning yourself is like being comfortable not looking like them.
Yeah.
Like, and then what comes with that? Like how many people be like, oh my gosh, that's your real hair? Like, is that a lash? Yeah. But like being like, you know, like just different, and it does require more. But again, it's a reflection of the luxury of being a woman, right? You got to maintain it. You have to love it. You have to keep it healthy. You have to nurture it.
Yeah.
You know, like cut it so it can build up. Like, so that's why I'm like, this is why I'm like, y'all really have done the natural hair thing.
Yeah.
Yes, y'all have.
Yeah.
And they really didn't have that back then. Like, so I know for me, like I had mentioned before, it was my friend Clark that kind of inspired me to go natural.
Beautiful hair.
Long, beautiful,
Yeah.
curly hair. And we went to McDonough, right? Like, what was that? And that was 10th grade. They
Girl,
all had
before
straight
that.
hair. Like, my
That was
friends
like
was wearing
2010,
weaves.
2000.
Jameer, Maya, they all had weaves in their head. Like, we were getting perms. And when our hair was like, before the perms, I don't even remember what it was like before the perms. We used to do the barrettes, but we still had the just for me's in our head.
Yes,
So like,
just for
every
me.
time the perm would wear off, bro. Every time the perm would wear off, I remember it just being so like, can't comb it, can't brush it. We didn't have no Maya.
And nobody wants to do it
Cream
though.
of nature.
Like honestly, like it was like, all right, I'm about to drop you off at the salon so you can get your hair done.
See,
Yeah.
I don't know about you, Brianna, but I never had that experience. I never
With your hair.
I went to the salon once, and that's just because Destiny's friend was going to color my hair, and that's where all her stuff was. So even that salon experience, it really was just us in there. So I never got to be in a salon with other women getting their
But
hair
see,
done.
that's the
and
fun
go
of being in the
consistently.
salon. Like just being around women and feeling good, and like again, that's why I'm like really excited about the Lash Lounge, because like my mother was a nail tech in a hair salon to like 20 years ago.
Really?
Like 25 years ago. You know, like this is old school. Like it ain't no booking online. You have a manual handbook.
That's cool, yeah.
And like you're calling for your appointment if that, like barely texting, like, or you just know you book it out 2 weeks when you come. Like let me tell you, my mother had them appointments, or that perm every 6 weeks or every 4 to 6. You make your next appointment, you put it in the books. Like I grew up like watching my mother do that. Everything is so automated and like through like technology now. So like watching my mother do nails, and even out the basement, like even my mom being a stay-at-home mom, she had a whole nail salon in the basement at times. Like seeing the way that like just the woman coming in and just like women coming together, like the power of that, like the energy of it alone.
Women
But, like,
are so powerful when they can be in a room with each other and really let their energy
flow. And that's why I'm like that was really what made me want to have like some type of like unity or like uniform lounge, was like when I started my apprenticeship programs, and I would have the girls come in and they would lash with me, and like I would be doing somebody while they did somebody, we would be exchanging, and then the woman would be talking, and then we'd all be talking. Like it makes it so much, just an experience. Like no matter the conversation, you could have somebody giving marriage advice, you can have somebody telling me about school and career advice, you can have somebody admitting murder. Like
that's why men always want to be in the barbershop.
Yes, they be talking. Let me be talking. Look, but it's just like it's a flow to it, and even the feeling of it. Like again, like the way I feel getting my hair done right now. Like I feel good. I'm excited. Like it does something. But so to be surrounded by all of that, everybody having that perk and that pop, and again, not just for the clients and the customers, but the flip side of it, like being a beautician. And being able to be in another place of another person that can grant somebody that feeling of feeling better or making somebody feel pretty. There's nothing like feeling pretty. There's no definition behind it. Like without makeup, with makeup, with your hair done, without just feeling pretty, feeling good. Mm-hmm. So when you can give people that lift, it's a gift. It is. And like that is something that like as beauticians, like I know I take it as an honor. Like I'd be honored to like go to work and do my job. Like I really do my work diligently. Like of course you have days where you don't want to get out of bed, but like I'm going to work knowing that I'm handing that off. I'm gifting somebody that, like I'm granting somebody that I take them with honor. And I feel like a lot of times I hated doing lashes. That's what humbled me. Like God gave me, I wanted to be a doctor and this track star. God said, no, I'm going to teach you how to give. Like I'm going to teach you how to give people that a sense of peace. Like even just again, people that come in there and just talk. Like giving me like the opportunity to give the gift of vulnerability. Like I'm telling you, I'm really sitting back thinking like, damn, I was running my mouth too much at that makeup appointment. Like I really like a year ago when I was going and my feelings was hurt. I was really just venting, but like
saying everything on your chest.
Yes, it's a mode of therapy. It's a form of healing. Like
that's what those spaces are supposed to be for, so that you can finally relax. You can get into that pretty state. You can feel like, I don't want to say a woman because there's so many different ways to represent a woman, but you feel like a woman, soft. Like soft,
elegant, beautiful, classy, And so that's why I really appreciate you all having me here, because this is something that I stand for. Like you take what beauty can do and give it positive influence, like put something out there, help somebody else with it. Like even between like me and my clients, like that's why I love doing giveaways through my company. Like even if it's not for my clients, but like in the holidays, like when COVID started, like we did a thing where like for each appointment we were like giving like a family a package in here, like something like that. Like just the power of unity, but what you can do with the touch of like adding beauty to someone or something. Like me adding beauty to someone can create beauty and light in the world for something else.
That's how you serve.
And so like it's all about serving. And that was why I was like, even when he asked me, like, I don't want to do it. Retail is fun, it's cool, but
it's a lot.
For what I do with lashes, it's about the service. And again, like I do understand there is some retail that works like that. And again, that's why it is cool to partner with other brands that offer that or that do that, or you can use your service with their brand. And so I don't know, beauty is cool. It's like there's certain industries, I'm like the magnitude and the density of them is like unfathomable. Like beauty, like the intricacy of everything, and you realize like there's no end to it. It's infinite. It's infinite. And not even talking base, again, when you look at hair, you got traditional sewing and you got full lace wigs. Like not even that. Like it's not just hair, it's a whole dimension
a lot
to
of
it.
Things in between.
Like again, like we were saying earlier, like I'm a lash tech and I feel like I have a degree in marketing and finance and project management.
Because you need to know how to do that.
Yeah, like
especially starting off, and while you are on your own, like figuring out how to get it to a point where you don't have to do it on your own anymore, so you can build that team. You have an amazing team around you, and that is why. Well, I don't want to say that. That's the only reason.
No, it is why.
See a lot of success.
I'd be drowning in my everything.
It's so much.
Delegation,
so much.
no. And again, that's a part of surrender. Like I used to be very controlling. I need to do this. I want to do that. That needs to be my way. Like no, if I say, hey Justin, I want you to shoot this video, I shouldn't be all behind the camera. You need to do this at the third. Da da da. You're the photographer. That's your lane and your gift. This is my lane and my gift. So you have this lane and this gift and this lane and this, and then you have a whole army front going strong for you. When you're trying to hop in and out of the other lanes and the lanes that you don't belong in and all, like it makes it complicated. You stress yourself out. And again, it's like everything that could be put forth isn't even being put forth because I'm trying to be a photographer and I ain't no photographer.
Exactly.
And so, you know, that's when everything else comes into play. Like when you get, and then like, it's crazy. Again, the dimensions, like having an investor versus you intentionally using like what's been given to put forth something. Like the lanes, the strategy. But again, like for me, that's all biblical. Like, again, hustling is like, I'm gonna hustle, I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. Like, no, whoa, slow down, strategy. What's the plan? Peace comes in that. Order comes in that. Yes, like, and then that's when you can just sit back and let the abundance flow. But you can't just think you're gonna hustle and things gonna work and things gonna flow. What's the structure? What's the structure? And that is why on the flip side, aside from me offering services, like that's why it's like, even though there's tons of people I collab with, like collaboration comes down to that. You don't just collaborate with your clients, it's in everything you do. Like there should be structure. And that's like something about being in Baltimore that kind of makes me itch sometimes. It's like, you got to find a certain niche of people that have the same structure so that you can collab with them. So you can work with them. Like everybody talks about Baltimore being like in Atlanta. I'm sorry, but what made Atlanta big is that Jada and Ari was in the same industry, moving the same way together. Like, and then they got a team, and then they got a front, then they got Arrogant Teddy, and they got G Subu, and they got Shane Justin, and like it's not just the motion of one; it's like the motion of a room, the energy of a room, and moving together. So that's why I'm like, again, like you guys just asking me to come here wasn't. Shoot, what we're able to put out is because you're here, I'm here, we're here. You know what I mean? So you got this and this and this, like the cup is just overflowing.
All the pieces that needed to come together came together. That is so pretty. Transformation.
I love it.
Transformation.
Period. All you need is, and this is what I always say.
This is so cute.
You take it, put a scarf on, go night night when you wake up.
Yeah, what's my hair care? Like, can I just wrap it in like
a long scarf, and then let the scarf travel down and just cover the back like that.
I would say prioritize.
Wow, that's crazy. I've never done a style like this before, and I really like it.
Me either.
And it came out great. Yes.
Thanks.
I like how you did like you like kind of puffed it up.
Yeah, and you can even with the twist. I started it with the root with the braids, so it's.
I like that. Oh my gosh. Yeah. All right, cool. Because I could.
You ever need to like, because you know how twists be, like braids be lasting like a month, but twist is like. That's why I love twists, but I'm like, dang.
No, but that's why I love hair because I change my hair every other week. That's perfect.
Well, that's perfect.
Yeah.
As soon as there's
that's perfect.
It's like, yes, need to get my stylist online. It's time for new deals.
Wow. So what made y'all pick out this style, or you just wanted to try it? Or like, hey, this looks good on her.
I did want to try it. Yeah. Honestly, we were envisioning like what would look cute on you. Like obviously everything, but like, you know, like what would be like your style, something you haven't done like before. You probably have done that before, but you know, just something different. You know,
it's usually like the typical hair down to my butt and like curly in the
You
face.
had a bob,
and it frames your face well. You did have a bob. I remember Bob Days.
Yeah, Bob Days.
Have you ever had a blonde bob?
Oh
my god, that would actually be fucking.
I am about to do blonde hair though.
Blonde with
that's why I'm like, I
haven't in platinum.
We were actually gonna make your twist blonde, but I'm not really that good at
the tucking.
The tucking, yeah.
See, it's the transparency for me.
We're gonna be honest, because we're not about to have you leaving here looking crazy. You gotta go out into the real world after this. Yeah.
Everybody gonna be like, I love your hair, and I'll be like, yeah, too bad they don't do hair. Just go like the podcast.
Yeah.
Books
just
closed.
take a picture.
Books closed, thanks.
Wow.
And if usually I have like the clips with me too. So if you want them to stay more on the smaller side, yeah, like if you want them to stay more on the smaller side, just you can take it, twist it with the gradient to tighten it up, and then do the next one. And then
kind of like
clips.
a lap.
Yeah, and go to sleep like that. When you wake up, they won't move at all. They won't be puffy.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. What they say? Put that shit on.
See, and that's how you know it's a good hairstyle.
Oh yeah. You want the edges?
Yes.
All right.
Of course. Who are we without the edge?
I mean,
we
This
are
is so cute. I just love that. I know when I go out, my hair isn't gonna look like everybody else's.
Oh yeah, facts. This is a very unique style.
Mm-hmm.
And shout out to my L's edge control because
Shit, let me reach out to my
it's a game changer.
That's crazy. No, this edge control has really been growing my edges though. I just started using it like a month ago.
Good. It's so good.
And I like the pomegranate one too. That might actually be
Because I really used to not have no edges.
No, seriously, I permed my edges at one point, like just the edges. It was the worst decision I could have ever made.
I mean, at least you didn't like
in that.
and shit. Listen, this is you, and this is the reason why we brought you here, because your energy really does speak for itself, and you're really wonderful to be around, to listen and learn from, especially listen, because you got a lot that you can drop, a lot of game that you give, and you do it humbly, and you do it out of the goodness of your heart, and we really need more people like that out here who genuinely want to serve their communities and be a positive influence in the lives of everybody that they come across. So thank you for being you.
I appreciate that. Thank you guys for being y'all.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah, it's like that. No, I appreciate that as well. And again, like we were saying, like just the power of this and like coming together, and like it just doesn't stop here, you know. Like
Absolutely.
that's why it's always cool. Like we see things, and like what I'm learning to understand is like what we see is always only the beginning. So it's like I feel like when we're like, oh, don't get too comfortable, don't get too comfortable. Like it's not on a negative connotation. It's just only up from here.
Exactly.
So I really appreciate you guys like having me here and to be able to say that I was a part of this, and like the, you know, which is as dope as it is. I mean, having my hair down in my hair, like it's still just the beginning. So I'm excited to see where you guys go and grow and what you guys do. So I appreciate you guys for having me.
Glow, grow, get better with time.
I like that.
But yes, as we do close out the show, we have a thing called the 60-60, which basically gives you 60 seconds to reflect on everything that we talked about today and kind of give your final piece.
Ooh.
Your final reflection, your final thoughts.
Y'all said this is my therapy session right here.
So yeah, just the floor is yours.
I think that's it right there. Like,
This is
this isn't for me. This is for them.
I mean, for you and for them. Like,
I feel like for me, like that's it. Like everything that was spoken, everything that was said, like just to receive. Like even though I'm here and I showed up, like everything that I received in this conversation and confirmation, and that's it. Like I'm telling you, like you have no clue, like how like affirmational, like the things that we talked about were for me today. And I think if I could give you all a takeaway, that's my takeaway. Like it's always going to be laid out in front of you. Like I really could take all these conversations today and just, you know, but wow, that's just life. Like how I'm so, I'm entrepreneurial and I'm ambitious, like yes, about the future, but the future is, like I said, is right now. So I taking away all the conversations, I mean, that's enough for me. Heard you. Let me tell you, heard you. Everything we talked about, being a listener and a learner of life. You know, that's what I'm taking away. So I'm applying that, but I'm also telling y'all, like, do that. Like, always be a learner of life. Always be a learner of life. Like, you have no clue, like, how powerful what you all are doing. And me being here in these conversations were for me. So that'd be my takeaway. Continue to learn, continue to love, continue to live, because the time is now. Like, the only thing that could ever stop you is you.